I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my horoscope overview for the week of September the 19th. Pretty intense time, September, with the two eclipses. We just came out of a lunar eclipse. Actually, it's today when I'm recording this, so depending on when you're watching it. And planet Mercury, the planet of communication and commerce, and governs anything to do with communication, like phones and computers. And I've been having a little bit of trouble with my email for a few weeks now. But, I find that if you just don't sort of mess with it too much, I mean, some technical problems, of course, you've got to get in there and you have to get them fixed. I was sort of offline with email for a day, so I had to get that fixed. Now it's sort of just not quite right. But I'm going to leave it until Mercury turns around, gets out of retrograde, out of that storm period, and see what happens, because, history tells me that if you do that, sometimes it just corrects itself. I mean, it's crazy to think that a retrograde planet can sort of mess with so many things. And, really, I don't really understand it, but I know it to be true. And I've gone against it, sometimes, not recently, but years ago, to test it. And, whenever I've gone against a Mercury retrograde, well, it hasn't been good. And I just launched my new website, which is not something I would normally do in a Mercury retrograde time. But you know what? Sometimes life just does not wait for, the planets to line up. So, there you go. But do go along and visit that. It's jenniferangel.com, and I have daily, weekly, monthly, all the material on there. I've got how to revamp, and a cosmetic revamp, and plus a content revamp. So please go and visit that. I'm also clearing the schedule to do more private readings at the moment as well. So if you ever wondered where your moon or your ascendant is, or what's coming up, or what are your strengths and weaknesses, then the horoscope chart can tell you that, and it can just help you, give you a heads up what's coming up for you. I always think that, a horoscope chart really gives you permission to be who you are too, and I love that. It's like, don't apologize for who you are. There's a reason why you are, many reasons, and an astrology chart can help you unveil those reasons, some of the reasons, give you some insight, which is, I always think, is very valuable. So Mercury will come out of its retrograde transit this week on the 22nd and start to move direct, making it a perfect time to put your thoughts and plans into action, because, of course, when Mercury is retrograde, it's always a better time for planning, and then when it comes out, then it's a better time for action. But right on the 22nd, okay, so that's a Thursday, then we've got like what's called the storm period. So that's the time when the planet goes in and out of retrograde. And I always remember an analogy, that, if a boat starts to go forward and then it turns around, and as it turns around, you get all that water, slushing around either side of the boat, and that's called the storm. So it's like quite a disruptive time. Once Mercury goes retrograde, it starts to sort of settle down. And once it comes out of retrograde, it starts to settle down and get back to normal, whatever normal is. But it's in that time that 2 or 3 days, say, either side of when the planet turns. So that can be the most disruptive time. So, okay, so we've got stationary, I think it's on the 22nd. Looking at the Greenwich time here, not the US time, so forgive me if I've got the day to day out. So then that's Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time we get to the end of the weekend, next week we should be able to start off, or the following week commencing the 26th, we should be able to start off with a bit of a clean slate. Let's hope so, okay? All right, so Mercury will trine Pluto twice during this week as well. Once on the 20th, while it's retrograde, and then when it turns around and starts going direct again on the 23rd. So with these two Mercury-Pluto trines, something amazing can happen during this time because, Pluto is a planet of transformation, don't forget. So, things can start to, it's like the trigger to push things forward. It also can be like a moment of realization, and, a change in your attitude, depending on where it is in your solar chart, of course, what we're talking about here. So, and I'll go through that in the individual video reports. So September the 22nd is the fall equinox. It's when there's an equal amount of day and light, and focuses your attention on how balanced your own life is as the sun moves into the sign of Libra. And the next day, on the 23rd, Venus will leave the comforting sign of Libra, and which is the sign that it rules, and it will enter the more intense energy of the water sign Scorpio. So you want to be aware of control issues and jealousy and resentment here, because like everything, Venus, sweet, beautiful, loving Venus, has another side to her, okay? No, feelings can run very deep here, and love and money situations in your life can become very emotional with Venus in Scorpio, so try to keep a level head. All right, so a lot going on this week. I do hope it sorts out for you. It's certainly with the eclipses, it's a time of change. It's a time to really step out of your comfort zone to make change happen, and that's how you grow, and that's how you move yourself to the next phase of your life, okay? All right, love and luck to you. I'll go ahead and do the individual reports. Please go along and have a look at my new site. All my material is on the new site, jenniferangel.com. And if you're viewing me on other sites, I'd really like you to come back to my own individual site now, if you can. All right. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.